let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
What's up, everybody? I'd like to welcome you to this week's special edition of the Feet Sinking Missiles Fantasy Football Wrap-Up, hosted by yours truly, Luke LaGrange. All right. So I'd just like to start off saying that I lost a bet this week, which is why I'm here. While I am bringing you this content, the opinions, picks, and commentary, this week does not necessarily represent the opinions, picks, and commentary held by Luke LaGrange and the Lone LaGrangers. These are all the brainchildren of your commissioner, Mr. Jacob Pais, a.k.a. the Wookiee Warriors. Now, I know that my criticism in the past towards the commish has been harsh, but I want to clear up a few things up for the record on his behalf. This is all done in order for me to try to rattle the commish. I have somehow convinced myself that he is evil and sets rules like Stalin to rule the league with an iron, this says iron fish, but I think he meant iron fist. When actually most of the rules that I complain about are just the default settings of ESPN. I really just like complaining, and I think that this tireless bombardment of criticism will frustrate the Wookiee into making critical errors with his team. Number 2, it hasn't worked. I came close by making the commish sit Chris Thompson and start Dante Moncrief, which would have made him beat me by over 20 points instead of just under 10. I must think of another tactic which will thwart this walking carpet. But I'll probably just continue to complain about the rules that he doesn't even make up, because that's just what I do. The commish has been very cooperative and accommodating throughout all of my bickering. He truly does want to take everyone's opinion into account, and has made the changes that I belligerently complained about. He's fair and approachable, commish. So if any of you ever have any concerns, he will address them. And he won't call you a bitch about doing it either. Yeah, right. Even if you're a dick about it. That worked out nicely. Let's see. Number 3. We've done number 3. Number 4. My stranglehold on the league. My stranglehold on the league has been officially downgraded to a kung fu grip. While at 0-2, my possibility of making the playoffs and winning a Super Bowl has been significantly lowered, my inflated sense of self-worth still has me feeling pretty good about my chances, and I do. While anybody else would describe my hold on the league as of the way a baby grips a full-grown person's finger, I feel I've still got a pretty good hold on it. This inflated sense of self-worth is also what has caused me to think that I'm an expert and gives me the confidence to think that I know how changes in certain rules give me better or worse chances than those changes at whatever cost. Okay. Now that I've cleared that up, there's a few announcements to make this week. Here are the people who still owe your dues. Tony, Tim, LX, and Scotty. I'm ad-libbing here, but Scotty, I know you're in Chicago, so if you want to Venmo that over to me, I can get it over to Jake. Or, all you can use Venmo. It's a very convenient way to transfer money from your bank account straight over to people who you owe it to, and especially in fantasy football leagues. If you have not yet voted on the poll, please do. I can only post one poll at a time. As soon as everybody votes, I have more polls to put up about more rule inquiries. If there's one thing Jacob likes, it's polls. That was another ad lib. For instance, who thinks that a 3-day waiting period on trades is too long? Who thinks that 3 people needed to veto a trade isn't enough? So if you want your say on these issues or any other issues regarding the rules, please go vote so we can create more polls to vote on. And without further ado, here's a recap of this week's games. We had 3 pretty close games this week, actually. Looks like BB suffered a tough come-from-behind loss on Monday night. That's going to be our squeaker of the weeker. Good job, Scotty boy, on the win. Looks like LX and Tim slugged it out and still managed to make it to 100 points despite having a starting player put up a big goose egg. Jamal Charles almost brought it home for LX, but to no avail. And last but not least was the close and very exciting game between the commish and myself. Although I had some hope that Brandon Marshall might give me the 10 points I needed to win, I did. Everybody else knows it was pointless, because I suck apparently. I lost and the better team won. Period. Point blank. No question about it. Now for the blowouts. Mike's team finally woke up with all his players affected by the hurricane able to play. Good job, Mike, on killing it this week. Fuck hurricanes. Although Sam thought he had some hope with OBJ coming back, we all saw how bad the Giants, in overall, generally sucked it up like usual. Screw the Giants. Last but not least, Bobby. Oh, Bobby. I almost feel bad for you. I feel like we need to give you a quick fantasy football lesson. So listen up. Lesson 1. Check your app often. Especially on Sunday morning, that's a great time to do it. We all know you check your phone constantly, and the ESPN app even gives you updates when your players are injured. Unless you were stranded all weekend with no phone or internet anywhere, there's no excuse for leaving Sam Bradford on the bench. Wait, off the bench. Well, we know, yeah, that was his fault, not mine. There's no excuse for leaving Sam Bradford in when he sat the bench. So please, Bobby, don't become that team that everybody always knows is going to be an easy win. If you need assistance with your team, Bobby, you can reach out to Commish. He can help. You can reach out to LaGrangers. I seem to know it all, even though I'm 0-2. And, okay, so now we're going to go to the picks for this week's game. Let's see here. Tony and Tim, 2-0 teams going at it. One has to emerge with a loss. Who will it be? Interesting. I'm picking Tony on this one because we need to stop the train that is Tim. The Tim train is running down the tracks and rolling hard. Next is Luke LaGrange and Bobby. I can't wait to hear this. I'm giving this one to Bobby because after that shaming, I'm sure he will set his lineup properly. I hope so. BB and Mike. I think BB will take it down if Gronk stays healthy. Good point. Next we have Chris and Scotty Boy. Scotty Boy is on a roll, and he's going to take this one down. Sorry, Silky. Next we have Sam and Kyle. Kyle at 0-2 really needs a win here, so we're going to give him the courtesy pick there and hope that he can get out of the goose egg column. Last but not least is the Commish versus LX. And obviously, I'm picking the Commish. This week, after his close win off Luke LaGrange, last week, he's got all the momentum. So, all right, that's it, people. There are the picks. Please don't forget to check your polls and get to the polling office and vote. And post a video if you want. And we'll see you all again in the digital world. Peace out, homies. I need like some fade out music or something.